completely heartbroken and upset over this ordeal and is hoping the judge can prevent friend's brother's wife's sister owes him money for extra luggage. She says she's a master colorist at a natural hair salon. And when the plaintiff came in, her...
My mother.
Okay, you have power of attorney for her?
Yes.
Okay, this is the car you drive, right? But
yes.
It's in her name?
Yes.
All right, you are suing...
This is the defendant, Michelle. She says she's a master colorist at a natural hair salon. And when the plaintiff came in, her hair was in deplorable condition. She did a beautiful job on the woman's hair. She left with a nice blonde shade. She was happy, and that should have been that. Then a few days later, she came in and demanded half her money back. She refused, and here they are today in court. She's accused of being shady.
All parties, come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
Welcome,
Is it Estrella or Estrella?
Estrella.
Deborah Estrella, you are suing the salon where you got your hair done, represented here by Michelle. You're actually the stylist who did the hair, correct? Okay, for $740, $650 the amount you paid for her to color your hair, wow, and $90 to recolor your hair because according to you, she did such a poor job. Tell me what happened.
I was referred to them by one of my coworkers. She told me that they did excellent work, and I had recently bleached like the ends of my hair because what I wanted to do was have like a dark tone on my roots and like light color on the bottom, but something to like complement my skin tone. It didn't come out so good when I did it, so she was like, go to this place, they're really awesome.
What was it? How did it come out? According to you, it was black and orange.
Yeah, pretty much. Like,
do you have pictures?
Yeah, I have pictures here when I did it myself. So I'm not the best. I'm not professional. That's how I went to their salon.
The price is right, though. All right.
Yeah.
So, okay, so that was not what you were going for.
No, not at all.
Okay.
Like, I didn't go up as high as I wanted, so I was just
like... So then you decided to have it done professionally, and what did you ask her when you came in?
I asked for the pricing. They told me that I needed to come in because that they don't do the pricing over the phone. And when I came in, she did went over my hair, and she said that I would need a package for $650, and it would be 2 sessions. I said, that's fine. She had told me that it would be
But what did you tell her you wanted done?
I told her I wanted a dark tone on my roots. I really didn't want to touch my roots, but I wanted a nice lighter color where it's blonde but then the black rose out. I wanted that kind of look. She told me she would be able to do it because I told her right now the black and orange that I had in my hair.
So I want to be clear. Are you saying that you asked her for a solid color, whether it's from here or from here? Are you saying that you asked her for one solid color?
Yeah.
You didn't apply one solid color, right? You applied highlights?
Well, what she needed was a corrective coloring. But what we explained is that our whole goal is to keep the hair healthy, especially since she abused her hair at home. It was very sensitive. So we explained we have a system of treatments because her hair was red and orange. She wants to go into the blonde family.
Okay.
So to get the red and orange out, we have to continue to keep lightening it.
Okay. Go on.
She was there for about 7 hours, nonstop, working with her hair.
Okay. Did you apply any color?
Yeah, of course.
Did you apply different colors, like highlights?
No. It's just more of just highlights is done by bleaching the hair, but separating pieces of the hair.
Right. Did you do that?
No. What she got is
I know how highlights are done.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I'm pretty sure you know the process.
This is natural.
Yeah.
All right. So, do you have pictures of how it looked?
After, yeah.
Yeah.
And
when you were there, did you complain at all?
When I was there, I got up from the chair, and because their whole rule was that you weren't allowed to see your hair until after it was done. They didn't
want you. Is that true that you don't let them look in the mirror while you're doing your stuff?
Well, we turn the chair around when it's in the middle of the process because we work with cases like hers all the time. So it's just like when the hair's wet or it's curly, it's not dry, just to keep the client relaxed throughout their entire process until it's finished blow drying, then we'll show them. But they do see it.
I mean, I would never tolerate that. I want to see it while it's going on.
No, they do see it.
All right, so this is how you looked afterwards?
Yeah, like that.
And what's your problem with it?
The same night, I asked before I paid her, before I put the money in her hand, I said, specifically, I work at a bank, and I want my hair to be one color because what I did to it was terrible. and it wasn't presentable for my job. And just
Why people who have highlights are not allowed to work at
not
banks?
them, no, but the extreme colors that I had in my hair.
Okay, well, what's your problem though? What is it that you didn't like?
My roots were really bleached bad. When I pulled it back in a ponytail, because the roots were so much lighter than the ends, she left it on too long. She's not the one that actually did my hair. It was another woman. And
Wait, you didn't do her hair?
No.
We worked together.
No,
Did you
she
do her hair,
never-
yes or no?
Yes, we both worked together.
Oh, work together on her hair.
On her hair,
okay.
yeah.
I thought you meant we work together at the salon.
Yeah.
That's why it was. All right. So you're unhappy because you feel like there's too many colors going on
It was
here.
way too many colors. And I told her I wanted to, when I gave her the $650, I said I want to be one color at least, because the black
Okay,
and
but
orange.
all right, and the deal that you struck with her, according to you, was that you would come back a second time. The second time is not to have coffee. The second time is to correct whatever it is
No,
that you're
the
not
second-
liking at the
the
moment.
second
You were
time-
there 7 hours?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so why didn't you just come back and let her work on it the second time like you
I came back the next morning. I didn't
and
come
said
back.
you wanted your money back?
I came back the next morning and I told her that I wasn't happy with how it came out. She said that she would do something else, put some coloring into it to even it out. And I said, why wasn't it something that was done that same night if you knew that I needed that? Because what I asked for was one color and you didn't give me that. She told me that the lady that actually did my hair, because she didn't do my hair, the lady that did my hair, she said, if I knew that this was the type of person you are, I would have never touched your hair, because I don't deal with people like you.
Meaning?
And I didn't know what she meant. Honestly, I'm not sure if she meant that I was being like rude to her, or maybe because of the work she felt offended. But I told her I really appreciated the work that she did. I'm not happy with what happened to my hair.
Okay, were you there when she came back?
Yes,
All right, and you were there when she left?
yes.
When she left, did she say anything?
She was happy
Okay, how do you know she was happy?
because she said, I like it.
Okay, did you say I like it when you left?
No.
Did the defendant have a devil-may hair care attitude? Well, the plaintiff gets $740. Judge Million rules next.
DJ?
And when is the time to say it?
Right at the time of it happens.
What if she has just remorse after a day or two when it settles in? That's the question. What if, like, a day or so later, she looks and she says, God, now I'm really looking at it and it sucks?
I think it's just like too bad. Like, you should have said what you said when you should have.
You're a heartless woman, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Going inside the courtroom.
Did you say I don't like it when you left?
Yeah, I asked her, is this how it's going to stay? And she said, no, we're going to come and do it again. I said, this doesn't look really even. And she took pictures and stuff like that. She said, come back tomorrow and we'll straighten it out and we'll do something else to it. And I was there for so long already and I was already tired. I didn't
When she
wanna-
comes back tomorrow, what does she say?
She comes back the next day and she says that she was unhappy with the color. We said, that's because you're still missing a second session. The second session is just final. It's like one final color. She already did the whole lightening. We did like 7
So
hours.
why is there a range of colors in her hair?
It's all history of the hair. All depends on how whatever she was doing with it before, whatever color she was. That's the mystery with hair. It's like everything's different for everyone. Because the history, depending if you flat iron it too much or if you color it too much, nothing is even. That's the thing with chemically processed hair. It's not virgin, so nothing is going to ever be the same.
So why didn't you just go the second time? And then if you still weren't happy, I understand suing. But you end up saying, no, you're not touching my hair ever again, give me back my money. How do you think that's going to happen?
Because
if you didn't do your part of the contract.
No, I understand that, but
Like, I've never seen a case like this where they specifically tell you, you will not walk out of here today necessarily with the final product. You must come back for phase 2. They actually told you that according to your own testimony, and then you don't go back to phase 2, and yet you're saying, well, it's not a final product that I like. Well, yeah, it's not a final product.
I know, because before I gave her the money, I said, can you at least get me to something that I feel comfortable with
Seriously,
now?
honey, you can't walk in and work in a bank because your hair looks like that. That's that bad that you can't work in a bank. It's not like they made your hair green or something.
It was not even. My roots...
So what? It's not even. Why does it stop you from working at the bank?
Because I didn't feel comfortable. It's my hair, and I paid $650.
Okay, but you felt comfortable with this.
No, that's why I paid the
No, I
money
know,
to get it
but I mean, I
professionally
know.
done.
But see, it's a contracts case for me. It's just a contracts case. If you're not comfortable, you don't want to go back, don't. But you don't leave it at that. You know, you're a free woman. You can decide, I'm never going back there, I'm not going to let those people touch my hair. The problem is that you've come to me and you've said, and give me my money back. So you now have to show they did something wrong. You didn't even let them finish. How is that showing me that they did something wrong? My verdict in this case is for the defendant.
Well, the plaintiff has the right to not go back the second time, but you leave the $740 behind you. What's your reaction to this?
I'm surprised. Like, I really expected to get a fair judgment on it, so it's really shocking to me, but I feel like they should have done better work, even
Why
if
didn't
it
you
was
give him the second chance to finish the job?
because the comments that she made to me didn't make me feel comfortable with her touching my hair again.
Believe me, Judge Milian understands hair.
Yeah, I'm sure she does.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right around this way. So step on in here, and speaking of hair, how you feeling about this outcome here?
I was expecting it. We thoroughly explained the process when coloring, especially when you're trying to lighten your hair or correct something. So the fact that she didn't follow through was the reason why we were expecting an outcome like this.
What color is that hair?
It's like gray, green, gray.
Is there any blue in there?
Yeah, some blue.
Could you make Douglas look like that?
I sure can.
You can? All right. Harvey?
Okay, I will say it doesn't kill your case if you don't complain on the spot, but I am telling you, it really, really helps. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Felicia Kasdan. She says the defendant's vicious dog attacked her poor little 11-pound Cocker Spaniel in our local dog park, and the woman's being a real louse because she won't pay the vet bills. That's right. The defendant's dog was 100% at fault, admitted to such on the scene, and yet she still owed $754.95. This is the defendant, Tammy. She says the plaintiff's little dog was in the big dog section of the park instead of the little dog section. The plaintiff's little dog was also snapping at her big dog, and dogs being dogs, they got into it. After the incident, the plaintiff apologized to her and left. Now she turns around and sues? Come on. She's accused of having a bad dog day afternoon. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $400 for a doctor's bill because she herself was bitten in the melee.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
I want to be the friend of the woman who puts a pit bull in a chokehold. That is my kind of woman.
Honey, do you have plans for dinner tonight?
The defendant's dog attacked her Cocker Spaniel in a dog park, but the defendant says the little dog was in the big dog section, and it was a snapper. It's the case of, you hurt my Cocker Spaniel bad.
Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, I have an instruction here that you don't want your last name mentioned, but I'm sorry, you don't want your dog's name mentioned?
No.
That is a first. So what is the purpose of... Okay, no problem. Ms. Kasdan, you are suing Tammy, who I do not get, who doesn't want her last name used or her dog's name used, for $754.95 that you say is still outstanding on the cost of vet bills that you had to incur when, according to you, her dog attacked your dog. You have a counterclaim against her for $400 for a doctor's bill for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Because
Your Honor.
during the struggle, that's okay. During the struggle, I've been called a lot worse than ma'am. During the struggle, you were bit. All right, tell me what happened.
On May 26th, I brought my dog to Ward Acres Dog Park, bring him about 2 to 3 times a week. On this particular day, my dog was leashed upon exiting the dog park. When her dog ran up,
So your dog was on a leash when this happened?
Yes, I was leaving the park.
Right.
Her dog ran up, bit him on the neck.